All right, so we got this chassis up on stands. Like I said, we're going to disassemble the front and rear suspensions so we can go through and clean them up and overhaul them and all that. So these front cradles are held in by 7 bolts. The 4 in the frame rail on the top and the 3 on the frame rail on the bottom. So there's 7 on either side. That makes 14 bolts, not counting the shock bolts that holds this thing in. And then of course, got 2 bolts over here that hold the idler arm, and 4 bolts over here hold the steering box. But we already took the steering box and the idler arm off, so we just have 14 bolts. I'm gonna pull the last one and this thing will be free. All right, so we got the last one done. As you can see, it's already started dropping down, so we're gonna go ahead and let the jack down here. Maybe it won't fall off the jack before it hits the ground. All right, so it's loose now. So we should be able just to roll it out from underneath the truck. All right, there we go. It's out. We got a couple places on the frame rails we need to touch up, but that's not a big deal. Not a big deal at all. We'll just touch them up and it'll be okay. If it hadn't been so muddy, I probably would have moved this back here and painted it back here with the suspension out, but anyhow, it is what it is. I couldn't get it done the other day like this, so we got it done today, and we'll get it, like I said, get it cleaned up and touched up. No big deal. All right, so on the rear you got these spring retainers. We're just going to undo the bottom ones, so the top of the spring will still be bolted to the frame. That way the springs will be loose from the trailing arms. We'll take the trailing arms loose from the frame here, and then undo the track bar back here, and this rear end will drop right out. So we're gonna get that going on and show you. All right, so got the spring retainers out, the trailing arm bolts, and the one track arm bolt. So the track arm's just hanging down, and you can see this is a fabricated track arm. We're gonna put a nice adjustable track arm in there. So get this out from underneath of here, and we'll be ready to start cleaning up and painting. All right, so we got the rear end out and the trailing arms, and you can see the fresh trailing arm bushings that the guy I got the truck from had put in, and you can also see the wore out track bar bushings in the old fabricated track bar. So like I said, we got a trick adjustable track bar to put it back in there. So got a rear suspension and the front suspension. We got to get the front suspension out from underneath of this. We'll put this suspension back up underneath of this chassis here, so we'll have a roller. And then that suspension will get cleaned up and put up under this new frame, or new to this truck frame. So we'll get after it and see what we can get done. All right, we've started cleaning this rear end housing up. We got the top of this trailing arm cleaned up. So I think we're gonna jack it up, put it on stands, pull the wheels off, get these emergency brake cables out, and work on getting the backing plates cleaned up and all this. We got new emergency brake cables and all the hardware, and that'll give me a chance to look at the brake drums and see what they look like, see if I need to get some of them ordered. So we're just chipping away at it, getting it going here. All right, so the guy I bought this frame from said he worked for a Cup team, which for you guys that ain't from the South, that means NASCAR, Winston Cup, whatever. And he took and re-welded these trailing arms together. And these are some of the best looking trailing arms. I've been up under a bunch of these old trucks. And they're usually bent up and twisted up and beat up and rusty, and these things are cleaning up beautifully. So we're going to continue to work on them. I got the rear end flipped upside down where I can work on it. Like I said, I'm going to blow the brakes apart. Brake drums are usable, but I don't know. I might buy a new set of drums just because I'm doing this. I'm going so far through it, I might as well. So now, actually, the brake shoes didn't look terrible, but I think we're going to go ahead and do that. So we're just plugging away, cleaning everything up. Like I said, he replaced these bushings and they look fantastic. So I'm really pleased with the way this thing's cleaning up, and it's gonna be pretty nice when I get done. So it'll look as good as the chassis. So like I said, I got this cradle out. It's going under this just to keep this truck a roller, and then I'm gonna take the cradle out from underneath it and put up underneath this chassis here. So that's what we're doing, just plugging away at it. But that's how she looks right now, and getting it done. My rooster been helping me here. What's up, Cocky? Yeah, that's what I thought. So we're gonna continue on. Can't wait to get this out and get everything going with this. We need to clean some parts out of here, but then it's a bunch of dirt in the back. It looks like rust, but it's not. It's dirt. There's a piece of plywood and a mat up underneath of all that dirt, and I hope that wasn't a mistake holding the moisture in the bed, but we'll see once we get all that pulled out of there how bad that looks. But it cleaned up pretty good overall for being in storage for as long as it's been in storage. I think it looks pretty good. So we washed part of the grill, and you can see the algae. I didn't hand wash that. I hand washed this, so you can tell it was coated. It was a living creature here. So, but it's gonna come together. So y'all keep on watching. Y'all see. For y'all that haven't been watching, the glove box is stuck. Come on. Sorry about that. So the RPO tag, and it was a factory tack, air condition, it's $396, which was actually, it was a 402 and 71, and they called it 400 in the truck. Factory air. There's the factory tack. It had a headliner in it, it fell out. Listen to that solid. But even the emissions label matches up. 402 4 barrel for 71 vehicles. And like I said, they called it a 400 in a truck. So, factory, big block, Cheyenne.